your spirit, which is so important, especially in these times. I am reminded of the phrase, you've heard it before, you are transformed by the renewing of your mind. So here we are we are 30 something days away from the election. And this particular election has brought up so much for so many people. We've got even more divisiveness than we had before and during COVID. We have so many people posting and assuming and making judgments and character assassinations. And of course, this atmosphere that we all live in, we all are walking around in this environment. And in my cosmology, we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation. So, yes, our DNA, our absolute essence is spiritual. And then we're in the human. And in the human, we have emotions and we have an emotional scale, all the way from, anger and fury to absolute, what is called Christ consciousness, elevation, ascension, stepping out of the mundane into a very high consciousness. What I know for sure, as someone who has been on a spiritual path since I was 8, that's what I can consciously remember. I actually had a dream of something before I was 8, but somebody who's been so devoted and dedicated to honoring the spirit, to honoring this divine presence. What I know is that consciousness, your conscious awareness, where you live. And if you see this, the other day I was cooking and I made pasta, and I thought I could break the pasta while it was in the water, and the boiling water jumped up and scalded me. So just so you know what that is. And so in this world that we're living on, in this moment, as we are waking up and sometimes just jumping right here to our portable hand devices before we do anything, it is really important to keep our minds stayed, right, steeped in that which is affirming. You can find plenty of evidence of that which is not affirming, of that which is crisis and terrible. We've got the war in the Middle East. We've got the Hurricane Helene. We've got this election, right? I could just list for you all of the things that are not working. But what I know absolutely is where you sit in your consciousness, the thoughts that you harbor, not the 60,000 thoughts that come into your awareness every single day, but the ones that you bring in. It's like, you can't stop a bird from flying, around your head, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair, which is a metaphor for building, sitting in a rut, like creating this entire negative environment. That old saying, when I'm in my mind, I'm in a dangerous neighborhood and I need adult supervision to come help me get out of that. All of that is what contributes to ye are transformed by the renewing of your mind, the recalibrating, the resetting of your mind, your mental atmosphere. What is the zip code, that you are living in, your mental zip code? For me, meditation is what I call mental flossing. Yes, absolutely. It helps your physical body for sure. It brings your heart rate down. It lowers your blood pressure. It allows you to have clear thinking, which is vital. You need to access that executive functioning aspect, the prefrontal cortex of your brain, to be able to make decisions that are sound. Otherwise, you're living in the survival brain or the hind brain, which is all about give as good as you got. It's about, basic basic needs. And the limbic area of your brain, which is the mid center of your brain, which is all feelings, is where your amygdala is in the limbic aspect, the limbic center of your brain. And this is when you flip your lid, the alarm goes off, the amygdala, you flip your lid, the prefrontal cortex, you're no longer in sound thinking. You're in survival, you're in attack, you're gonna, ye are transformed by the renewing of your mind. So it is about breathing. It is about coming back to center. It is about learning what will support you in having the wherewithal to make the right decisions, to make sure that you and your family are well taken care of. So we have an invitation. I believe every opportunity is an invitation to think something differently. You know, there's something that I love very much called the set aside prayer. And the set aside prayer is a prayer to your greater power, higher power, God, to help, like I say it in the first sense, so help me set aside everything I think I know about you, about life, about what's happening, so that I may have a new experience, and help me to see the truth. This is a powerful, powerful practice, because if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Right? That's an old, I believe that was Henry Ford that said that. So your mental atmosphere, the environment that you live in, impacts everything. And I understand, because there was a time when I wasn't completely aware of all of the subtle energies and all of the subtler impacts. I was living from very much an instinctual place. And I would get up, like I remember getting up in the morning and putting on music and having my coffee, and then leaving. This is when I lived in the city, and I would leave my apartment and I would get on the train. And then by the time I got to my destination, I was in a completely different emotional state, because I hadn't cared for my spirit. I hadn't taken time to slow down, to set an intention for my day, for my morning. You can get up into quadrants, set an intention, a short declarative statement of what you would like to experience, what you would like to embody. My intention is to be more loving. My intention is to be more patient. My intention is to be more generous. My intention is to be more resourceful. It is a declarative statement, so that when your mind goes off, as it will, right, you get to bring it back again and again and again. So my message to you this morning is, you have the inherent power to create the life you wish. Now, notwithstanding, there are things that are happening in our world. We have Hurricane Helene, and we send prayers and support in whatever way we can for all of those people and animals who have been impacted by this hurricane. We have the war in the Middle East. We send prayers and whatever resources we can for divine and compelling right action and outcome. We have the election. We send prayers. We hold in prayer the highest and the greatest outcome, truth being revealed, because I know, as someone who is slowly moving into my elder years, I know for my child and all the children, I want them to have a better world, a world with peace and choice. So seek to see your brother and sister with the eyes of the divine, of God. In your morning meditation, when you sit, do what I created called Take 5. Take 5 minutes to move into your heart center and ask, declare, let me see myself as God sees me, so that I may see others as God sees them. Do not allow your mind to be hijacked by enemy. Yes, there are people in the world that are so disconnected from the love in their heart, from the love that is at the very center of their being, that is their true nature, that they harm other people. And you get to be that vibrational set point for something different. Claim that. Take back your power. You don't have to go anywhere or give anyone anything for you to access that inner power. It is within you. Looking for change? Look within. Looking for peace? Look within. Looking for love? Look within. I can tell you, I was one who looked for love in all sorts of places. I was looking for my mother. That book, Are You My Mother? It was a very hidden, compelling desire for me to what I had not received. So I invite you this morning, if you need to replay this again and again and again, to remind yourself, rewind, rewire, replenish yourself. This is what we do every morning in the Awaken Spiritual Morning Mastermind. It is for you. It is what you are, the power of example in your life, in your family. So I invite you to learn more about Awaken. I invite you to continue to practice coming back to center. And I will see you very soon. Peace and